Well, hello and welcome back to the Daily Brew, the devotional where every day we drink a new brew of coffee and we see what God is brewing for us in the Bible. Yes, it's cheesy, but it's true. And you join me today in Auckland. And you will have noticed I've been wearing a hat for the last few days. I've had my hair cut recently and I just can't be bothered to do it up. So, I'm just trying out the hats. But anyway, did you need to know that? Probably not. If you're joining us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, hello. And if you're on YouTube, good to see you as always. Hey, let's have a look at our scriptures for today and get into it. They are in the description as always on every platform. Psalm 30, verse 8 to 12, Mark 13, 1 to 31, and Leviticus 14, 1 to 57. So those are the scriptures we are reading today. And today actually marks a very significant moment. We have got 300 days to go. Yes, because it is day 65, 300 days to go after today. So congratulations, if this is the most continued you've read the Bible, if you've made this much headway and this is your first time, congratulations. If it is your normal amount of Bible reading, well done you, good on ya. Let's get into our coffee for today though, our brews. Now, I think I said yesterday, I can't remember, I didn't look at it back and I can't remember, I should have really looked at it before we did this today, but I think I said that I tried this at the Boxer, Supreme Boxer, the dark roast, the blue label. Now, I thought that I tried that in a Chemex, but I just went back in preparation and I realized I hadn't had it as a Chemex. So I thought today I'd try it. Now, I've been really impressed with the Supreme coffee. It's been great as an espresso. It's been great as a plunger. But I want to see if we strip away all of that non-filtering and if we put on some strict filters, which is what the Chemex does, it filters all of that low end straight out of there. Let's see if it's still strong and punchy. Let's see if there's any dark chocolate, and let's see if there's any of that malt biscuit. Remember that malt flavor has been so strong throughout this whole process. So I'm excited to see what this tastes like today. Let's give it a go in the filter. Oh, do you want to know what I've been doing? Of course you do. Yeah, of course you want to know. This Chemex, for 1 cup of Chemex, I use 20 grams of coffee and 300 grams of water, and I allow that to drain out however long that takes. So let's give it a try. This Supreme Boxer, let's give it a go. Yeah, wow. This is actually quite a nice, this is lovely as a filter. I'm trying to figure out what to say. This is the problem, I don't try this before we do it. I just give you these live sort of reactions. So, it's almost got quite a sweet flavor profile to it, which is odd because you'd expect a strong and punchy coffee maybe not to be sweet, but it is. It's lovely. It's got this lovely, and you might think I'm supreme bias. This is not supreme bias. This is actually just genuinely how I'm feeling about this coffee. It's genuinely good. It's not, maybe it's the sweetness of the malt, maybe the sweeter end of the dark chocolate, that's what's giving that to me. To be honest, and this is controversial, but I probably prefer this as a filter. Out of all of it, I probably prefer it as a filter, which is not what it's designed for. It's designed for espresso. I triple dipped. It's lovely. It's really, really nice. Honestly, friend, you got to try that as a filter. That's a brilliant cup of coffee. There you go. I was surprised. I was actually expecting to tell you that there was no flavor at all, but it's a lovely, smooth flavor. It's sweeter than the other ones. The other ones are very malty. This one's very sweet, and it's lovely. So give that a try. I highly recommend that for today and for the rest of your life. Give that a try. The Supreme Boxer Blue Label Blend. Give it a go. But let's get into the Bible and talk about why we're really here today. If you have a relationship with Jesus, your life changes as a byproduct. Like, if you're in religion, some aspects might change behaviorally, but if you're in a true, pure, genuine relationship with God, then you have no choice but to slowly change and become more like Him. God is in the habit of turning things around. From the condition of our heart to the circumstances we find ourselves in, God can change anything and everything if He pleases. Often, all we need to do is actually call out to Him. Look at our psalm today. God turns a lot around. He turns wailing into dancing and sackcloth to joy. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not really a lot. You just listed 2 things. That's not a huge list of things that God turns around. But can I put it to you that even though it's only 2 things that God does here, that's actually 2 very significant things that God turned around. He turned his wailing into dancing. I don't know if you've ever wailed. Like, I don't mean just cry or sob. I mean wail. Like, it's hard to go from wailing to dancing, but that's the turnaround effect that our God can have. It's significant what God can do in our lives, and it's encouraging to see not just it happen in my life, but in others also. David started by calling out to God to help him with what he faced. After God turned it around, he finishes by saying he can't thank God enough. It's a good feeling knowing God's on our side. Newsflash, Jesus is coming back. Okay, if you don't know, now you know. He's coming back again. He's returning again, and it's going to be a big turnaround when he returns. Jesus speaks about his return and warns us that as we approach end times, things are going to get bad. He tells us what to expect. He says wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes, famines, kind of sounds like 2023, kind of, a little bit. Let's not dwell on that for too long, and more, right? He says these are the birthing pains Jesus is talking about before his return. Now, before it happens, he stresses to his followers to turn their lives around now. Don't wait, but turn your life around now. Don't delay. He mentioned it 3 times to watch out and be on your guard. He also warns us of a few other things that we should be aware of, right? Deception, persecution, and distress. We're going to face these things, okay? They're going to come. But don't worry, Jesus will come back again, and the victory that comes with Jesus is all ours. If you're caught up in any of those 3 things right now, deception, persecution, or distress, I want to encourage you to figure out a way to get out of them. It may mean walking it through and just getting through this next season, or it may mean having to have some conversations or make some big decisions so that you can see those things shift and see God turn that around for you in your current situation. It's because of the cross that we have the ability to access healing, miraculous, transformative power of Jesus Christ. That's what his power is. It's healing and it's miraculous. What looked like a defeat on the cross, Jesus turned around to an incredible victory. In this turnaround, it's that gives us hope for a turnaround that we might be looking for in our current situation. What I mean by that is we can look at the cross and see if Jesus did that for us then, he can do it for us now. In Leviticus today, we read more about the need for sacrifices for sin and for guilt. Look at the foreshadowing of Jesus in this. A sacrifice is required. Atonement is necessary. The blood of a lamb without defect, brings atonement and cleansing from sin. All of this in Leviticus points to Jesus and what Jesus did on the cross for us. Look here at some more cool foreshadowing to do with the cleansing of water and in the blood. In the New Testament that we're going to read later, we see this is both picked up in Hebrews 10:22 and 1 John 5:6. I want to encourage you to have a read of that at the end of today's readings if you'd like to for some extra bonus reading. Ultimately, what we're reading about here in Leviticus is the turnaround that comes from a relationship with Jesus. It's this action on the cross and the fulfillment of the law that gives us access, power, and permission to step into the life that God has for us. Verse of the day. Yes, verse of the day. Let's have a look. Psalm 30, verse 10. It says this, Lord, be my help. It might be simple, but it's a humble request. If you need him, ask for him. He is there and he wants to help you today. And that is it for the Daily Brew today. Thank you so much for joining me. I pray God is speaking to you. Can confirm about this. It tastes like chocolate when you burp. So, hey, if that's not a win, I don't know what is. Just, again, some information for you that you maybe didn't need to know, but now you know. Hey, if you haven't done so already, take a moment, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, follow the podcasts, rate the podcasts, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you never miss a devotion. It'll update you every time we release a devotional podcast, and it'll just help us with the algorithms get this out further and wider, far and wide. Further and wider? Sure. When I say us, by the way, I just mean me, really, and Annalise might pop in from time to time, but so far so good, it's just me. So there you go, help me out, it'd be great. Hey, if you are having the start of your day, if this is the start of your day, have a great rest of your day, unless it's sleep time. Good night, sleep tight, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 66 here on the Daily Brew.